album titled Naninina. I'll get the correct pronunciation from him. The album, which speaks about his late parents, failed relationships, about the healing point for this artist. His music has revolved over time, and finally, his fans will get to hear and know more about the real Vusi Nova. The R&B crooner is here. When we use Vusi, welcome. When we use words like R&B crooner, are you that old?
I'm not old at all.
Because we started to use the word like R&B crooner. I mean, it's 2 years since the last album came out.
Yeah.
And I mean, you would have to live under a rock not to know that that was a monster album for you. Everybody loved it. Yeah. And now 2 years later, where are you musically at the moment?
You know, I feel it right now. I mean, I've been carrying around so much baggage, so much pain. I mean, I lost my dad when I was 2 years old, my mom when I was 21. So I've just been kind of carrying all of that, you know, and I've just decided that I want to be a better person, you know, I want to be healthy. And so I decided that I'm going to sing about my pain. And I do understand at the same time that I'm obviously not the only person that's carrying around pain and all of that. There's obviously other people out there. So I'm hoping that this album can help those people as well.
When you're writing such a personal album, and I'm not saying the first one wasn't, but when you're completely emotionally, consciously, subconsciously immersed in this process, is it more difficult?
Oh my goodness, it's draining. It is like emotionally, it's so draining. I mean, I remember in studio, I would just break down, you know. But the guy that I worked with on this album, my engineer, he was amazing. You know, we'd take breaks, we'd talk, you know, I'd cry if I have to, and I'd get back to it. So it was very, very difficult. It's definitely difficult.
You know, we were talking a little bit, and I didn't mean to laugh, but you were telling me just even the process for choosing the name of the album was also difficult. Tell me that story quickly.
So I came up with a name, with a title called Imvelaphi, meaning roots. But then I found out that I think one of Ndando's albums was actually called Imvelaphi. So at the last minute, we literally had to change everything. So that was crazy as well.
So you've written this very personal album. You've dedicated some of a song even to a close friend of yours, Burita, as well.
Yes.
This album is really a very different Vusi Nova to the one we saw in the first album, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, when it comes to the first album, Walk Into Light, 90% of it was in English. And this time around, it's the other way around. 90% is actually Xhosa. And again,
hence you wanted to call it Roots.
Yes. I just feel like I've been through so much in my life, and I feel like most of the time we do what we feel other people want us to do.
Was that the comfortability factor here? Was that you finally got to go into studio and do what Vusi wants?
Exactly.
That you put your personal seal on every song?
This whole album is so personal. It's so personal. And as I said, this is me starting my process of healing. You know, because I'm just tired of just carrying all of this weight around.
So you write this personal album, you dedicate this to Burrito, as a close friend of yours, one song, but you also then bring in Brenda Fassie. Speak to me about that.
That particular song, I mean, first of all, she's played a big role in terms of just inspiring me really to sing. She had one of the biggest voices ever, you know, and that particular song means so much to me because, I mean, I've been through so much in my lifetime. I mean, I've gone through drugs and all of that. And there was a time in my life where I felt like no one was seeing what was happening to me, you know, and that song, that's what that song talks about. It talks about how she felt at some point she was alone, and that no matter how hard or how loud she was screaming, no one could hear. You know, and for me, I just connected to that song, you know, and that's why I decided to put the song in my album.
And Tandiwe is also doing very well.
Yes, thank you so much. People are loving that song. I actually wrote that song when I had just broken up with my partner. And we actually got back together again because of that song. But then, unfortunately, we broke up again 3 months ago.
I don't mean to laugh.
You know, So, and there's actually a breakup song in there as well called Donele. You know, I was in a relationship for about 3.5 years. There were good times. And unfortunately...
And then super bad ones.
And all of it is in this album.
Well,
Naninina.
look, this is one of his most personal albums. Vusi Nova's in studio with us. He's performed once. He's going to perform for us a couple of more times. It's very special. It's available at all music outlets. It's available on iTunes. Go and download the music. Buy the album. You know, local is 100% lekker. Let's support our local artists. And let's make this album go gold. Take an ad break. Don't go anywhere.